Hello everybody and welcome back to my China versus Ethiopia series. Or perhaps it would be more fair to say China versus Poland at this point. It's like chapter 2. I've actually been dreading this part because the road ahead is so filled with rough and we don't know much about Poland's army. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay, well, alright. Free, oh geez, they're actually willing to give us a worker. I mean, as far as like right now, I'd just rather have the money. Uh, to some extent, our workers are more or less caught up, so it's not like we need to. We'd always find, especially going to war as much as we're going to be, we'll always find uses for the workers. But right now, I think I'd rather have the money because we were almost out. Okay, some borders are growing. Nothing fancy there. On our way to machinery. Hopefully we have that finished off around the time that we're done conquering Poland, because then we can actually use our newfound borders to upgrade all these composite bowmen. Just gonna keep on marching down. It is kind of nice that we had these swordsmen on the outside of our border so that they could kind of lead like this. It's also going to be kind of nice because we want to kind of come around and like get into a fight over here. Hopefully everybody will be distracted here so that the archers can just walk in from the north. That'd be really nice. Looks like we got a couple workers that want to finish their road tiles, so we'll go ahead and start the next ones. Normally when I'm pre-building roads, I won't run into the trees just because that takes all the movement anyway, so might as well do it on a time where it's going to take all the movement. But here, like I said, our workers are more or less caught up. I'm not trying to save time. I'd rather save the money. He was basically cutting right through just because he was late to the party. Although, the way everybody's going to be kind of like traffic jammed here, I suppose could have just as easily gone around. A little too late now, I guess. I want to save him for last because it's going to take him 2 turns to get into the rough. So we might as well pre-build a road on our way down. My thoughts on the road is if you look at Warsaw, the track, coming up through here, it would aim at our trees. So ideally it'd be more like this. However, since we're connecting to the capital, maybe an elbow down here and then come down. And the reason why the elbow is going to be eastward bound is because like we have so much to do to the east in the future. So that's my thoughts on that. Okay, we meet Malacca, and thanks to this Korean missionary, we're going to have to trespass for a turn, but that's actually not bad because it gives us some decent visibility here. This is our scout with scouting, so not being able to see that one tile is probably fine. We got the trade route there. I want to sit tight for a second. We're just passing on those guys. Keep the farms going. Yeah, it's looking good. All of those guys are just waiting, so it's just down to him. Oh, the boat, right. Okay, whoa. 3. So we could plunder and back out. You know what, now that I think about it, yeah, that's right, he built Colossus. We knew there was one. So we definitely did right by buying the trireme to get find that. He's got a trireme of his own. We already knew that. So if I plunder here and back up, his swordsman will see me. His boat will probably come after me. And it's a long ways to retreat. Oh, we couldn't retreat even if we wanted to. His borders are grown. That wasn't like that before. Alright, and with these 2 trade routes plundered, that'd be another 300 gold, and we just got done tributing. So I have half a mind to actually buy our friendship into Kuala Lumpur. Obviously we're culture stacking, so we could definitely use that. We wouldn't have the trespassing penalty, which, I don't care about that. That's no big deal. But we would have a tile we could hail our boat up on, and that's probably going to be a little important. I don't know what his boat's been up to, but our boat is daisy fresh, so we're definitely in no position to go toe-to-toe just quite like that. So right now it's just down to these 2 plunderers, and this guy I want to make sure I move last so that I don't forget. which means war is upon us. So let us go to everybody. We know he still hasn't met anybody else. That's a little distressing. Anyways, we're just going to look to see if anybody will actually pay us for it. It's still kind of early in the game, and Poland has not been acting a fool, so no surprises that nobody's willing to yet. Probably Babylon would be the most likely because he's his next nearest neighbor, and Babylon's been expanding, but apparently that is not the case. And then if it turns out none of these guys want to pay us, we can ask our friends if they'll go in with us, because I think that leads to a lower diplomacy penalty. I actually meant to look that kind of thing up, because I used to use this one mod. I actually did a video on it once, but it was so long ago I don't even remember what all it did. But I meant to look into that just to see, have a clearer idea of what exactly does and does not hurt us to what extent. Alright, and I think I'll also ask Napoleon, just because he's also up there in military. He might be eager to get me to run in. Not the case, so we're just going to have to declare war straight up. And that means truffles and iron. If you look, we're getting 10 gold per turn. That's not optimum, so we might actually make a little more money on the deal, which is nice. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to pass that. I meant to say certainly. Alright, so now we can, yeah, okay, plunder, trade route, and back off. So that's 200 gold, nice. This guy can plunder, back off. Right, so we got a good amount of gold there. Let's go ahead and buy this guy's friendship. Fortunately, it's going to take this much because he's at 0. But now we won't lose it from the trespassing, which again is not a big deal. It's more about the culture and a tile to heal our boat. Truffles. Oh, look at this. A friend wants it. So yeah, let's definitely get the lump sum from there, because that's like 8 gold per turn, which is better anyways, and it's all up front. So this is like a no-brainer. Now, as for the iron, notice nobody wants it. We got plenty of iron. I'm suspecting it might be because we're building swordsmen, because the way the computer handles it is kind of weird. They won't let you dip into your natural iron. See, now we got people that want to buy our iron. They won't let you dip into your natural iron, but they will let you dip into your borrowed iron. Of course, if we do that, as iron starts coming back into our trade network, if we have more iron delegated than we have natural iron, it just won't let us sell it off again. But for now, we can kind of cheese our way by doing this. It's an extra 2 gold each. I mean, we were getting the 2 gold anyway, so... and now we can just happily resume our construction projects of the swordsman. Ta-da! Neat little trick for you there. We build the road. Did we buy them off? We did. Plundered all the trade routes. We are good to go. Okay, there's the hit. Yep, we took more damage than they did. It's to be expected. Basically, the worker, I'm just going to have him follow along what would be the road's path. And if for some reason we don't want him to proceed, we can just have him start pre-building the roads. Because looking at the terrain, because there's hills with trees here, like, nobody's going to be here. So we can't really pillage and repair over and over. That's kind of a trick to get like lots of gold and keep healing your unit. As far as those other developed tiles, though, they're all down here with one exception, is iron. And since we planned on having our archers 1, 2, 3, 4, we might end up with a melee here. But we don't want to jump in like right away. We want to kind of like circle the city and try to get fights coming down here so we can distract everybody and slide our archers in. Because once our archers are in place, like the 2 here, actually all 4 of them can shoot over the city in this tile. So if he's got units here, we can be whittling them away while also robbing them of the use of those tiles. But it's going to take a little finesse, right? Because we have a lot of melee units, and like if you imagine a circle, right? The city tile is 1, the next circle is 6, the next circle I believe is like 12. So say you had like 12 around, you can't just collapse in on the city because there's just not enough tiles for everybody. So when we do like circle and then kind of start collapsing in, it's not going to be a perfect like shrinking circle. It's going to be like individual units of his being weak and then us having to push into the tile while everybody else kind of moves in the backfield or something along those lines. Alright, looks like iron is freed up again, so although tedious, we'll go ahead and do this just so we can get the most amount of money possible because we did just spend a whole bunch. And we still have more to spend moving forward. We're going to need, I think it's like 600 to upgrade to Chukanu's, which obviously that's a while, so we'll have it. There's no question about that. Nevertheless, you might as well... oh yeah, we got to put our swordsman back into production. Again, tedious, but why not, right? If it's just a few clicks. Right, so we took more damage, so if we hit him on our turn right now, and then he hits us, and then we back up. If he gives chase, we'll just lose our boat. So I think it makes sense to back off now and heal up. Let's keep going like this, just so that we're not visible to him. Just have everybody moving like that. It is important that we keep everybody moving because we want the outer two. Like this guy, we want the scout, we want him coming to the outside because there's so many opportunities for him to step and shoot. Like imagine there's units here, he could step and shoot from here. So we want him to be the outside, and also because once we are done decimating his units and we're pushing into Warsaw, he can swing around and maybe help whittle down some more units that are coming in. But the bottom line being is that because this unit is so mobile, he's the one that I want to be on the outside. And what that means is we want these guys to be occupying these 3 tiles, right? So that's probably going to mean... Well, I guess I should say it could mean that 2 of them are here, just so they could influence the water, because then this is flat land, they could cross over. So we at least want these 2 constantly moving. They can move all the way over to here, because we're going to have a point here where everybody starts tripping over each other. So it's important that those archers keep moving. 1, 2. We got 2 movement left. Can't come here, obviously, and if we end here, we'll be within 2. So let's go 3, 4, and thankfully there's nobody here that can shoot us. She was coming over here. 1, 2, 3. Give me 1 second. My oh, okay. Roommates at the store wanted to know about getting me something, so let me just do a quick response here. Apologize for this, but I don't want to leave her hanging. I'll try and do both. There we go. Alright, my apologies. Okay. So everybody, they just kind of whizzed through that. Yeah, that is what I wanted to do. Alright, so everybody's good? Looks like it. Alright, we'll keep on going. Yeah, this is why I've been dreading this. It's okay to be 3 rings out, obviously, because we'll be out of bombard. If we come here, we might be swinging too wide. If we come here, he'll see us right away. But this is part of the reason why we're leading with the swordsmen. In the rough, they're still pretty, durable. Maybe not as much as the pikemen, but basically they're going to be leading things off, catching the intentions and stuff like that. And mostly, I imagine we're going to be doing defending until they weaken themselves to the point where we can kill them off. So right now I'm thinking here, still swing these guys around, and then like maybe starting next turn we'll just start coming in heavy. So if we come like here with these guys like this, and again these 2 can come over here because they can slide into here and still get to where they're going. This guy is basically coming down here, so leaving him right where he's at is fine, actually. We want the scout to be able to slide in, so he should be able to slide in behind. That's probably going to be okay. But this is why I've actually been dreading this process. Alright, so we're going to have military cast very soon. 3 turns, in fact. So the fact that we are finally spitting some units out, I think it might be worthwhile to get people. This one's actually going to have another one in 4. So let's have the melee come to the outskirts. If you've noticed, I've been trying to keep melee at the extremities. He'll come out, but it won't be soon. Yeah, let's go ahead. Since it is a swordsman, we'll move this swordsman up in here. We'll have these guys come more towards the center. So Beijing and Cyan will be covered. This will be covered. Guangzhou will be covered. And with this swordsman, Shanghai will be covered. So that just leaves Addis Ababa. And we might actually have a goal to buy a unit on the turn we get military cast. Having the extra culture per turn might be worth the expenditure. We are kind of buffing up our backfield right now. Let's go pikemen with the 2, because we had 6 of these. We're going to have 6 of these. Let's get up to 6 of those, and then we can focus on a few horsemen probably. Alright, he's going to just keep on cruising. Okay, this is very annoying, because that means if we do go for Babylon, Babylon was already going to be kind of a choke point here. But the fact that we got to go through another city sucks. Because not only will it be an extra city, but we'll be raising it. And I think all of that leads to diplomatic hate, so I'm just not thrilled about that. Alright, horses are finished. Didn't matter. We didn't have anybody to buy the ones we already had. We're going to build another farm there. He's healing up. Great General, we do need to keep him within 2 tiles of our lead. For now, obviously, in the end, we will want him buffing all of our archers as they attack the city tile, but that's a little bit getting ahead of ourselves here. This missionary is still on the way, and he does have an archer and a great general. So if I tried to squeak through, not only will we get hit kind of hard, but we have no place to land. Like, once this guy's healed up, maybe they can come and do, like, tag team his boat. Yeah, this guy's kind of stuck on this side of Poland. We can see the coast here. So I'm thinking maybe he should take over this scouting in the south, and we can use the guy with visibility to come follow the coast, because we can see he's got a second city here. And with the coast here, it might actually be a coastal city, and then we can come around him and start spying on Attila. Be interesting to see what Poland does with regards to our presence. Okay, so all I did was relax their swordsmen, but nothing else. Okay. Alright, here's some action. Let's move in like this, so that way if the swordsman comes over, I think I'm going to have him slide around, because these guys are kind of going to be stationary, I expect. So we'll have him slide around. He can do some backfilling one way or the other. It's just important that these archers are able to move towards their intended positions, and it looks like we are accomplishing that. Keep moving the worker while we can. Heal up one more time. That's a goofy growth, but whatever. Okay, this time the missionary's really... Oh, and now he's got a catapult here. I can't see the archer, so it's either nearby or on this road. So yeah, definitely don't want to go now. We don't want to let this guy finish his road tile just yet. Alright, so he's going to end up here. Oh, crap, I totally did that wrong. Do I have time to correct for it? 2 turns. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just. Alright, I screwed that up, but luckily it's not that big of a deal. So let's have this worker come down and, like, also be part of the war effort the 2 workers I got down there can be pre-building the roads. Because it is a long stretch. We're not really, like, eager to finish it up, but what else are the workers going to do, right? Okay. Time to pass again. Okay. Here they come. Here they come. Alright, so I'm thinking for the time being, let's address all of this. I think this guy's about ready to finish the farm. Yeah, I saw a couple farms getting finished. There we go. That is how we would like it. Farm there. We're going to have military cast next turn. I can never read that purple and the black. Yeah, 1. So if moving this over here actually makes it 1, and it does. So we'll do that for now. It says 4 turns, but obviously with military cast that'll be a little bit expedited. Okay, Attila would like some horses. Is he willing to pay for them? No, he's not. That's... We still want to be nice with him, though, because we don't want to give him... I mean, he's doing his own thing anyways. Alright, stable's finishing the capital, so let's build a caravan next, because we do have that extra slot from engineering. Alright, what I was thinking about down here is this is kind of what I was expecting to see. Okay, if we move this swordsman down here, the only thing that can really hit it is this horse. I mean, the horse can hit it and run away, and then this horse can hit it. But that's not going to even come close to killing it. And after that, he could just defend right there. So I'm going to keep snaking everybody down. Again, keeping the Great General in range of my weakest of units. Unfortunately, as these guys come here... he can see that we're here, so that's unfortunate. But 3. Okay, so this is a nice setup because then if he does come here to attack us, we will probably be able to kill him. So let's see, these guys coming here and here. Okay, so maybe this guy should have been moved over sooner. Oh no, this works out because... Alright, that's fine. He'll still be coming around the back, I think, because we're going to get weakened down here, and if we can keep the fight here and our archers come in, like I said, we just deprive them of those hexes, and that'll be really good. Alright, so it says attrition. Yeah, we would totally get nuked here, so we're just going to use him for eyeballs down here for the time being. And there we go. That scout's all caught up and nowhere to go because his cities have a nice spread on the land. We won't be able to get through without getting bombarded, and probably more. By the way, what social policies? Yeah, 2 honor, 5 piety. Piety, really? Okay. I've never really looked into the ramifications of AI opening piety, let alone finishing it, so I'm not sure how to feel about that, but... I guess I should be glad that it wasn't a better opener, right? Alright, so we kind of made a mistake there, but that's okay. We can fix it up here like that. Worker's going to keep on cruising because he can. Oh, we have a caravan come back. Alright, so because the city has a market, we're just going to keep sending it from this city for now. We're warring with everybody anyways, so like Ethiopia would be the only safe bet, and here we'll not only get more gold, but we won't be feeding our enemy science. He's not strictly our enemy, but we definitely don't want him getting to a point where he can be confident in coming back for us. Okay, this is a very, very good situation, I think.
The merchants and the traders.
I like the look of that result there. A lot going on this turn. Okay. A lot going on. So first and foremost, we see he's about to finish the road. But he's actually behind his buddy here. So if I finish the road here, and then finish the road, that's this turn, next turn, 2 turns from now. This guy will finish the road this turn, move, finish 2 turns from now. That doesn't seem so bad. So we'll just let that play out. Okay, some cities have grown. Let's work that tile. We're getting military cast this turn, but I don't want to wait 4 turns for him to pop out. So let's get him into the city and him into the city. So that's pretty much all the cities have a garrison, which is what it's called when there's a unit on the city tile. So let us actually, hang on a second. I did that. Shanghai, yeah, it's I need to go back to school on where to settle cities. I was looking over how the game's played out, and there's things I'm still not happy about the opening, but it's in the past now. So yeah, military cast. Before we do that, let's see here. 55 culture per turn, 2 happiness, and bam, there's 65 and 7 happiness. And I would like to just go ahead and purchase a horseman. Well, let's see. What are the alternatives? Composite bowman's cheaper now, but that's another chukunu. We do kind of we do need to start getting horses up because our next push is going to be more long distance. Our overall holdings are getting quite large. Now, we may purchase with faith, and that means mosque time. We've got the option of Addis Ababa. All the tiles around there are kind of crap, so we don't need the culture for tile growing purposes. Same in the capital. We do have a good amount of hills, and we would like to get them in case they got like aluminum or coal. But over here we have the most interesting tiles, I think. And not only that, but see how this city has visibility detached from the rest of the empire. I like buffing the borders of my satellites. So let's put it there. And then that should mean that borders will grow. Yeah, between the garrison and that, borders will grow in 2 turns, just in time for him to actually get there. So yep, on to machinery. Hopefully the war's over right around that time. Okay, what would we build here? I think we should continue with buffing up our military for now. So yeah, another horseman, because we do have the horses for it. Also, we need to keep an eye on this. Yeah, we're well within our limit because we're still playing catch-up. I already addressed that. Okay. So we might have him deal the hills here. There's not much for him to do in that city. Okay. And, of course, with the mosque purchase, we're now up to 69 culture per turn, which means our next policy is only 11 turns away. And I am thinking going for the Great General one first, and then the because this is really important right now, and this and the finisher both are really nice, but we're doing okay on gold, so it's not critical. Okay, so all of this mess. Alrighty, I think it's time to talk about pushing into tiles, which is how I like to think of warfare in this game. And please keep in mind, I am by no means an expert on this topic. This boat over here is a really good example. It might take, yeah, I'm guessing it's going to take all 3 of these attacking this boat to kill it. So it's very important that we attack with the boat first. If we did it last, our boat would end up occupying this tile and could get bombarded. This way we kill off the boat, and our boat is safe to go and heal up. And in fact, this boat might actually be how we capture the city, because we do have a lot of melee. He's got a good amount of units here, and he's going to be shooting at us for a while. Because speaking of pushing in, here's another example. We can take out this swordsman. It is going to put one of our pikemen into bombard range, which is kind of nice because that means it gives our archers a time to get into position. But as far as who would push in, I think the answer would be this tile, just because this is a our scouting type. So if this tile was clear, we'd be able to step in and actually act upon another unit. So since these 2 pikemen should be able to finish this guy no problem, we'll attack with this one first, and this one will push into the tile. And now that frees this guy up to come and do this, which is really nice. Unfortunately, it's not so nice that I would want to risk putting my swordsman in there. I don't think. let me look at that for a second. We do know that we would probably do this. And then this, because he's coming there next turn. Okay. So he's still coming around. We could push into this tile, but like I said, the swordsman would be pretty damaged. And keeping them together helps with the flanking debuff. This horse is either going to break himself on us or retreat, in which case he's out of the equation for the time being anyways. And with all the pikemen we have, we'll definitely be able to take him on round 2. The reason to push in, though, is to give this swordsman something to do. I can't afford it, though. Between the bombard, the archer, the swordsman, and the horseman, we would definitely be cooking that guy. Alternatively, what we could do is push into this tile. The 2 swordsmen will take this out, so we would attack with this one first so that this guy stays here outside of bombard. And there we go. And this will give this swordsman something to do. And the reason why that's important is because if he doesn't have something to do, he might very well come up here just to mess with these unprotected archers. Now we've got a unit within bombard range that he will attack because it's damaged, it's melee. So that means this guy can push through while all 3 archers set up in the back. As long as we give this guy something to do, he probably will not be coming up here and interfering with those plans. Would be my expectation. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed, but we will see. All right. I'm kind of glad to see that somebody's on this hill right now. Hopefully that means they won't be next turn. But even if not, like you can see, it's coast. I'll hop up there if I can just for completeness. But if not, we just come back around and go about our merry way. This was the guy that was coming over to help the war effort. And unfortunately, he's actually going to end up right on this tile. So let's get this guy out of the way. We have engineering, so the bridge means he can actually come here and pre-build road. So he's not a wasted turn. Just not putting in on this tile, unfortunately. But that's fine. I do think we're going to have the worker here pre-build a road here. I don't want to put him here because he will be able to see it. And that'll give his swordsman more reason to come up here rather than dealing with this guy who is technically exposed and technically weaker since, you know, he's damaged and stuff. If we start defending from that point and he brings in nobody else, we should be fine. But again, that's part of the reason this pikeman's coming down, so that if we do have to start evacuating this unit, we have a fresh, strong guy to swap in there. The Great General is positioned pretty well. If I was to change anything, I'd push him in here in anticipation of these units coming in. It's not a bad idea, but it's not necessary. We'll just do it anyways, just so he has more options next turn. I don't think it's going to come into play at all. But we are at the half-hour mark, so I'm going to end this segment here. I'm so glad that it's playing out well, because like I said, I was dreading this to such an extent, and I apologize for the delay. Let's just say I get a lot of fun from the opening, and there comes a point where the opening seems pretty well sealed, and I personally start losing interest in the game. As I look at this map and how large it is and where everybody is, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to conquer all of this? How am I even going to do that? Because I'm just not that experienced with the end of the game. So that's not your guys' fault. I thank you for all the encouragement. You guys have been offering so many fantastic tips. I'm sorry I don't respond to every single one, but believe me, I do read every one of them, and I am learning a lot from you guys as well. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.